Let me thank each and every one of you, not only for coming out this morning, but I understand you had a 3.5-hour training session yesterday. You gave up a good part of your Sunday so that you could get up and be here at 3:30 in the morning on Monday and the next couple of nights. It's something we all appreciate very much. I'm going to tell you a quick story that some of the veterans on this have heard before, but most of you haven't. And it really, for me, symbolizes what this is all about. My daughter, who is an adult, grown up, when she was going to graduate school at the Kennedy School, worked for the city of Oakland for a summer in between her 2 years in the public policy program. And one day she called me up, one night she called me up, and she told me that she had walked up Telegraph Avenue in Berkeley that day, and she had seen a homeless person sitting on the curb. And she said, Dad, I decided to sit down next to him and engage him in conversation. And we talked about 20 minutes, she said, and when the conversation was over, I decided to open my purse and take out a couple of bucks and give it to him. And he turned to me and he said, I don't want your money. He said, you've given me something that's far more important than money. You've given me dignity and respect. And I said, that's very touching. My typical fatherly way. And then she said, then she lowered the boom. She said, Dad, we sat there, during the time we sat there for 20 minutes, a couple of hundred people walked by us, and not one of them made eye contact with either the homeless person or me. And that got to me, because I realized that even in my own goings about during the day, when I see a homeless person at the off-ramp of the Hollywood Freeway in Melrose, I didn't make eye contact with them either. And wherever I went and saw homeless persons, intellectually I understood the issue that I'm partially responsible for as a public official, but viscerally I didn't really make the eye contact. And really it's a metaphor for our whole society, is we've never made eye contact with this problem, with this challenge. These are human beings who in most cases, through no faults of their own, find themselves in the streets of America. 20% of them are veterans of the United States Armed Forces. They answered the call of their country when their country called, and now they're calling their country in one way or another, and they're saying, we need help. Some of them aren't saying we need help, but we know they need help. And what we have found with the work that Common Ground has done in these censuses that we've done in Skid Row and in Santa Monica and a couple other places, what we have found is people do want to get off the street. But they want to know that they're going to be cared for, and that their own issues are going to be addressed in one way or another. Sometimes it happens, you'll see it today, sometimes it'll happen in 5 seconds, and sometimes it's a long haul. But each one of these individuals is one individual. We have 50, 60, 70,000 homeless in LA County, nobody knows for sure. And it's hard to get your arms around that number. You want to just give up and deal with something far more manageable, like traffic. But if you look at it as one person at a time, you make a difference in one person's life this morning. You've done the Lord's work, and that's the bottom line of all of this. So you're doing what hundreds of people didn't do in Berkeley that afternoon when my daughter walked up there. You're making eye contact with this issue, with these individuals. These are individual human beings. They're not statistics. They are individual human beings. And believe me, after this morning, if you do what we do, just try to keep tabs on these individuals as they get into the program, as we get them into permanent supportive housing, and you realize that you've made a fundamental difference in somebody's life. It's the kind of thing that money can't buy. And that's why I'm here this morning, and I know that's why you're here this morning. I want to just thank Kerry Morrison.